Well, howdy diddly dandy there, chums. Chums is I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys in the viewerverse, I want to talk a little bit about a game that I'm eagerly awaiting more news on, which is called Under a Rock. Now, Under a Rock, you take part inside of this game as an intrepid explorer, and you've gone into like the land before time, or into Journey to the Center of the Earth. You found this unfound island of sorts that's got strange inhabitants, prehistoric even. Now this is actually a combat trailer. I've slowed it down to about quarter of the speed at the moment. You can see here it actually works off of a seed, and this is day 17. Now because it works off of a seed, not every single playthrough is going to be the same. It's all procedurally generated, everything. And the idea is you wash up on the shore, you build yourself up on your first playthrough, and that you discover things, catalogue things, and once you take that back to the real world, they then fund your next sort of expedition. Now this is a combat trailer. There's been other trailers on a resource gathering. I do like the art style for this. It has got, I know this isn't going to appeal to everybody, and it may not appeal to you, but I do like this art style. I think it looks pretty darn freaking nice. But combat is a big thing inside of games, and does the combat look right? Does it feel right? Is it too floaty? All that sort of good stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over and I'm going to play this trailer in its entirety. Then I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts on exactly what I feel when it comes to this trailer. So let's get into it, people. Right, let's hit play. Show the music choice. Okay. Okay. Alright, I think I got the measure of this, people. So, there we go. Let me just pause out for a second. Let me just bring back on my old Winamp. We'll play a little bit of music in the background. Right. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mute it, firstly. And I'm going to slow it down a little, but not as slow as what I had it earlier. I'm going to put this on about 0.75. And let's just go back through this again, peeps. So here we go. Let's just chuck it back to when the action starts happening around there. Okay, right. I mean, I've already said that I like the art style. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, I quite like the fruit being used as a helmet there and stuff. The dodos are quite comical. I think they look beautiful and quite funny. But it looks like we've got a few different enemy types. Now, look at the skull on the actual shoulder of this guy. It looks very Cthulhu-esque with those giant teethy pegs coming down, which I think is cool. I'm intrigued by this portal. What the fudge is that? Does that fast travel you places or something? And these Neanderthal type enemies, they look fairly varied. But anyway, let's continue playing. And I do like the armour that you've got on here. It's all fashioned out of wood and stuff, which does look quite cool. The female one just looks hilarious. Right, now there's a few bits inside of here. Every single time that they slash forwards, the actual player, their feet don't move, they slide. It's almost like they're on a skateboard, and that looks a little bit floaty. And that might take away from the way that it feels. I think this is going to feel a little bit floaty at a glance. Okay, right. I mean, that was okay. The jumping spear attack was okay. But you see there where he'd done the thrust? They slid, almost Michael Jackson styley. And I don't know. Now, there's other bits here where you can see they clearly get hit, but they don't react because they're in a roll animation. I mean, that's fine. That's all cool. I quite like that bit. That was good. The weapon there is like a giant fish that they're hitting the enemy with, which just there, look, you see that? Okay, so if I go back just a little bit, let's go back just a teeny bit more. Let's go super slow on this one, because I kind of feel that you've almost got an impervious roll dodge. Look, see that spear hit them quite clearly in the leg, but they just rolled through it. So I think you're going to be invincible to some degree when you're in your roll frame animation, which is kind of... When you've played something like Elden Ring, and even if you roll and the sword hits you, you're still going to take damage. It's like there, look, that spear hit them in the frickin' head, but because they had started their roll animation, it didn't knock them out of the roll animation. I think they need to improve some of the actual collision detection when it comes to just being able to roll through stuff. I do like this. I like the way they explode into a load of feathers and you get like a little dodo body kind of like come out of it, almost like a roast chicken. I think that's quite funny and quite nice. And you can see there you got either chicken legs or you got the body there, so I'd imagine you get different sort of resources from that. There's things that I liked and there's things that I'm not so sure on, people inside of there. I think the combat is going to feel a little bit floaty, and perhaps not on point to some of the larger games when it comes to combat. But this is more of an adventure game, isn't it, more than anything? So if you haven't come across Under a Rock, I mean, I'm watching this from their actual channel, just subscribe there, but they've got quite a lot of videos out here anyway. I'd hit the announcement trailer just so you can get a little bit more of an idea of what Under a Rock is all about, people. Here we go. Captain Steve, oh Captain Steve, oh Captain. Heck yeah, why not hit that like and subscribe? Thank you very much. Right, let's hit play. Does look beautiful, but this is all cinematic. This is the game. This is gameplay. Base building looks nice, but you see the resource gathering animation? Just one hand, no two hands. I like that. I like the look of those big diplos wading in water. So there's reasons why I'm really quite interested in this. Let me just hit up another video in the background, and I'll just mute this. I'll make myself a little bit bigger on the old screen and just talk you through. What I like about this is the fact that it's all seeded. So it's all procedurally generated. Each time you play, you're going to have a different experience. That is a big tick in the box. Other things that I feel are a big tick in the box for this game is the fact that it's open worldy inside of this beautiful biome. I mean, I haven't seen any other biomes apart from this large vegetation biome. I haven't seen any sort of like desert or watery areas other than the beach and under the water. So there's only like 3 biomes: jungle, underwater, beach. That's pretty much all I've seen so far, and I think that's all it needs, to be fair, because it does look beautiful. The animations in this, you can see there, she's just doesn't look all too convincing. When she's using a pickaxe, like I mentioned earlier, it's just one hand. There's no sort of body mechanics into it. It's the same when they're cutting trees. They're just loosely doing it with their wrist. It looks terrible. I mean, look, that looks terrible. I mean, I'm not going to lie, something looks crap. And that does look pretty darn shite, to be fair. Now, the actual character in this, you're probably saying, well, I don't want to play as this person. Well, it's fine. There's a character creator in there, and I've seen people make quite rotund, explorer, burly chaps. There seems to be that there's all different wireframes that you can use for your body mass, because, yeah, I've seen some quite chunky chaps being created inside the character generation. Now, I know that resource gathering, you do want very quick animations, so I get that, but it could be a little bit more convincing in the way that it's done. The resource gathering, the base building looks quite nice as well. I think this visually looks quite nice. I like the art style. I quite like all this. The UI looks quite similar to what you would expect from most survival games. And it's the survival and base building that I think is going to draw a lot of people in, and the fact that it's procedural. Now, I am hoping that the replayability is like every single time you're thrusted into this seeded adventure world. Hopefully you're going to get better and better, and you're going to have more blueprints as time progresses. So you're not going to have to do as much resource gathering, I'm hoping, each time you go back into this. And I'm hoping maybe you get given a larger budget for your expedition, and maybe you won't have to do the same resource grind every playthrough, is what I'm hoping. We don't know enough to say whether that is true or whether that is false at the current stage. What we've got so far is this trailer, which is the resource gathering and base building, and then you've also got the trailer that I just played, which is the combat trailer. There's a few other trailers that show a little bit of cinematics, talk about the seeded wells, talks about the procedural generation. They go into depth on caves and how awesome caves are. But other than that, right now, what you're seeing is hopefully what we're going to be getting. So there we go, people. That's pretty much under a rock. I'm looking forward to this one. This one is on my wish list. It's on my radar. I think it's something that I could get into and enjoy. The only worry that I have is seeing the amount of resources you need for each of these base parts. I'd imagine you're going to be spending a good couple of hours to get the resources you need just to make something as small as what you're seeing here. You're probably going to need maybe 6 to 7 hours to build something really cool. I don't want to do that live. Resource gathering is never a fun watch. So it means that I'm going to have to do a lot of prep before I do a live video, if I want to do a base build video, that is. So I think it's going to be a game that's going to be quite polarizing for me as a content creator, because it's got a lot of boring aspects when it comes to resource gathering and management. I would like to do all that off stream, come on stream, have a goal, like, right, today's goal is I need to put a roof on my freaking house or something. I don't think that's going to be an enjoyable watch. So my goal would be something like, we're going to go out, we're going to explore, we need to catalogue some freaking awesome creatures. You saw there a little cutscene that said a few dodo hours later. And then they've got all this done, which is great, but I don't want to spend hours and hours of my life to put a load of vegetables on a table, or to put some candles and make some ambience. I would like it to be bang, 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 but beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is. So we'll see what it does. It's all about balance for me. It's all about time. It's a bit weird being a content creator that's got a full-time job, got a real life, got a missus. It's all about time. And it's that time balance for me right now that stops me from bringing a lot of games to my channel, because the balance isn't there. If I can't put together an interesting, fun, entertaining video within a couple of hours, I can't really go into town. It's why I didn't cover June. June to me just looked like too much of a grind. Every time I tuned in to watch some of my favourite content creators play in June, they were either inside of a UI or they were collecting resources, and to me, it just wasn't entertaining or enjoyable. And I'm hoping that this game doesn't fall into that same category, people. Anyway, sound off in the comments. Let me know. Do you like the look of this game? Is it something that you're going to wish list? Or is it something that you've seen a million times before and you don't feel like it's doing too much different? I'm hoping that the whole journey to the centre of the earth, the seeded procedural element, is going to appeal to some of you like it does me. And that's, well, kind of why I like Towers of Aghasba. Not that it's got a seeded world, but this has. So I think this has got one little tick above Towers of Aghasba for that sort of element. But Towers of Aghasba, what I like about that is you're actually bringing back the world and you're bringing it all up. If you don't know what I mean by Towers of Aghasba, I'll put a link up there. I'll put the playlist on the end card as well, so you can hit up Towers of Aghasba and take a look at that. But yeah, if this has got the same balance and the same sort of resource grind of Towers of Aghasba, it could work for my channel. That's what I'm saying. Until next time, people, salutamondo, goodbye, and goodbye again.